Good afternoon. I'm Ginni Aneja and I'm here to talk about number 11. The first master number in the series, which is a number 11, is made up of two suns, that is two ones, which are quite a mirror image of each other. And so that doesn't mean that you'll have two suns in your astrological chart. It is just to say the strength of the sun or the effect of the sun will be in that manner, negative or positive, depending on where the number is in your chart. Now it adds up. The 11 adds up to a 2. So the effect of the moon is going to be very strong. These people will have a glow on their face just like the moon, but then their moods will flicker depending on full moon, new moon, and the moon phases. Also, the eclipses will affect them. Other than that, these people, depending on whether they are working on the 2 or they are working on the 11, if they're working on the 11, which means they will always be they'll end up fighting for justice, if not for themselves, for other people, but generally they always have to stand up for themselves, because initially when they work on the negative side of the 11, they tend to become doormats and extremely emotional. But when and as they grow up, they realize that they need to fight for themselves in life, especially when it comes to relationships. And they have relationship issues. In fact, they have relationship issues to the extent that they may have multiple marriages. So when I say multiple marriages, I mean, get divorced once and at least marry for a second time. And they may be happier second time around. And sometimes, of course, some people may have more than that. If not, then there is a possibility that they may have extramarital affairs while married. So a relationship other than the main relationship in their life. Now, when I say extramarital affairs, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that everybody will have an extramarital affair or multiple marriages. It could also be that they have a friend who is so close to them and they're so emotionally, they have such a strong bond that it is, a lifelong partnership, which they enjoy uh, on one side. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person of the opposite sex. It could be of the same sex, but from what I have seen, generally it is of the opposite sex. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical relationship or a sexual affair. Now, other than that, the learning in their life is that they need to learn not to be doormats. They need to learn self-love, self-confidence, keep, a high self-esteem. These people are very good, they're very good at literature, and they can be poets. They love poetry. They have very good intuition right from as a child. So supposing you have a child that's just born, even say 6 months before, and you see that child's expressions change. Children sometimes suddenly start crying. They can be clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient. They could probably have the gift of looking, seeing spirits or things, entities that maybe you cannot see. So, of course, as the mind gets covered with mundane life routine, and as you grow, belief systems and everything start cluttering your mind, it can go down, or if they work on it, it can go up. They need to meditate and ground themselves, which is very important. uh, Generally, spiritual sciences will always attract them, and they will be pulled towards it even if they don't do it professionally. They will be pulled towards spirituality, unless, of course, there are other numbers which pulls them towards religion. Now, the good colors for them are black, white, violet, yellow, lavender, bronze, and copper. And these people, depending on what are the numbers behind the 11, so there can be other numbers behind the 11. They don't necessarily have to be a pure 11. They can be pretty detached, or there will be situations in life where they will be forced to detach with family or with colleagues or jobs, changing jobs and moving on like this. So once they decide to move on, it's just a flick of a finger. So that was about number 11. Coming to number 22 next. Meanwhile, if you want a reading, you can always get in touch with me on my social media. You can go to my website, which is www.ginnianeja.com. Thank you very much for watching. Do share it with other number 11s. Thank you.